All right, fire away, please.
What did you see as you guys gave up 16 straight over the course of the middle of the second half?
Well, and I don't think I'm coaching it thinking, okay, it's 16 straight, but obviously we're up 8, and they go up 8, obviously. So yeah, we were very poor. They backed us down, our guards down on the post, and we didn't give much resistance at all, and they took advantage of that. And then we didn't obviously score on the other end, but they were tougher. We never stopped them the whole night. They still got 39 the first half. We never stopped them, and never made them play poorly. We actually did a good job on their 2 3-point shooters the first half, and then they had 3 other guys combined for 4, which they played great. But that was kind of scouting report. Don't dare them to shoot, but make somebody else beat you from beyond the arc. And we actually did the first half, and then the second half we didn't.
How tough is it to guard 2 guards like Honor Huff and Tracy Eaglestaff, especially once they get going?
Yeah, the problem was we let them get going. Although Huff, he made a couple that were pretty hard shots. I mean, he's a good little player, and I thought he was great. And Eaglestaff, he got the one wide open early in the second half, and then he followed it up with another one right after that, and then drove it and did some other good things. But those 2 played well, but I really thought 55 and 0 were the key to the game for them. I thought they both played great.
Bill, the schedule gets harder as the season goes along, obviously, but are you concerned at all with where the team's at?
We suck right now. So, but it's right now. Everybody goes through ebbs and flows in a season. I mean, the last 3 games we haven't played well. We got to flip it because the thing about it is when the three teams that we played thus far, the common denominator with that is they've all played really well. So that tells me that we're not doing something to make them play poorly. We can talk about a 16-0 run, which obviously occurred or whatever the deal is. But the bottom line, there was a time we had 58 or 59 points with 15 minutes left in the game against a team that only averages giving up 67 or 68. So it wasn't our offense. It was at the end. But it wasn't our offense up until the game flipped. It was the fact that we didn't get consistent stops on the other end and finish possessions. And that's a credit to them. I thought they played really well.
And kind of going with that, you've talked about the defense repeatedly being better since conference play started. What is so different when you look at the way they played in these 3 games versus in non-con play?
I don't know. Today we didn't switch near as much. We actually did some things a little bit different, but still our attention to detail and let's just call it. I have to watch tape, and no matter what a coach says now, usually you can go back and say, well, that's because the coaching staff and the coach hasn't done a good enough job training them in what you want them to do different. So I mean, get it. So it sounds like to maybe if anything's said now that I'm placing blame on players. I'm not. I'm placing fault with all of us, but we have not consistently got everybody to understand that your value to our program and to our team is being a junkyard dog more so than it is being a skilled player. We haven't got through to that, and we've got to do that, and that's the coach's responsibility is to get the players to do that. But our best teams here weren't great all the time, but we never let anybody else play well.
0 and 55 for West Virginia. What were they doing specifically that really caught your eye there, especially there in the second half?
Well, 0 had 16 at halftime. That can catch your eye pretty easy, and then the offensive rebounding. Obviously, we didn't do a bad job in the game on the defensive boards until you look at Well, they got 11, and really only 2 offensive rebounds where anybody other than 55 got them. The other 3 were good bounces out of bounds. We block a shot. We don't go after the ball goes out of bounds. It's their ball, and they end up making 4 points off of it. Because we fouled. He makes the first, he misses the second, get the offensive rebound, throw out for 3, and it's that was pretty much, it wasn't game, but that was the biggest play. So I would say the way they rebounded the ball in crucial situations and the way we didn't was probably as much as anything.
West Virginia has had good success in this building against some great Kansas teams, obviously. Can there be anything to a venue or a location, or has it just been happenstance or matchups or over the course of your career?
I think we're 5-8 now over here. Is that right?
Yeah.
So and they've had some really hard-rocking cats come through here too, that were really good players and good teams, and they got a good team now. Ross does a great job. You guys should be thrilled to have him. But for whatever reason, I don't think that. When they start calling it Hope Coliseum, what's the reason for that? What is Hope? What is Hope a family, or is Hope? It's a gas company. Okay, so I was just wondering. I always thought it was like West Virginia Coliseum or whatever it was, but I actually don't know if it's the building. I have always thought the best home courts have the best players playing on it. But we've lost over here, I think, I know twice in a row, and maybe it's 3. I don't know. So certainly maybe there's Jerry West, Hot Rod Hundley, Rod Thorne tipping balls in or tipping balls out. I don't know. Maybe they're ghosts.
Bill, is there anything about your team playing on the road that maybe isn't up to expectations as much as when you play at home, or is the difference very narrow?
There's not much difference. We haven't been great at home either. We just labored to win a game the other day at home. I would say usually the best road teams are always the ones that can either outscore you or the ones that can make you play poorly. And we're not doing either one. And we're not going to outscore anybody. We can score enough points to win. I'm not saying that at all. But to get in a contest where we want the game 95-92, that's not who we are. We need to be able to grind. And we haven't been able to do that yet. And I say yet because I think we're capable of getting there, but we're not there yet.
In the arc of you guys learning for the rest of the team to play with DP and DP learning to play with the rest of the team, where did this game fit? How did they do in that respect?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch the game. I thought Darren was aggressive, didn't make shots, but he still gets 23 in 30 minutes. He's obviously, but I don't think that I look at it differently than you guys do. I look at it as regardless who you're playing with, if Flory's in the game or Bryson or Trey, what are we doing to give ourselves the best chance to win that possession? And we're playing like there's always time left. And that's not how you win on the road.
Coach, I know first impressions can mean a lot, but obviously it's not like you've gone up against Hodge for years. But what was your first impressions on his game plan and adjustments during the game?
He got them 3 layups out of timeouts. So, and to be honest with you, we've walked over every one of them. And their offensive execution was a hell of a lot better than our defensive execution. So, that to me, a sign of a coach. You teach them how to play. Everybody does. But if you can steal them some points every now and then, that really doesn't come from having to grind every possession. That that's a positive, and I thought they did a good job with that tonight, and we didn't do a good job of executing defensively on how to guard those three actions like we should have.
Yeah. Bill, obviously these teams are very different than the previous 2 years, but it seems like when you guys get to conference play, it's been kind of a struggle compared to non-conference play. Have you seen anything these last few years of like why that is?
First of all, our league is a bitch. That's one thing. Secondly, the way that I see this isn't that we can't have a terrific team, isn't that we can't get it flipped. The one thing that we have to know is, and it's much like last year's team and the year before too, not so much the year before that, we were a 1 seed, is the margin for error isn't like it used to be. I mean, we're not bringing pros in off the bench. Let's just call it like it is. That's not an excuse because the guys out there are good enough, but the margin for error, if Markeith and Marcus want to take a couple of possessions off and give up a couple of threes, you know what? You got to play a lot harder than that. But our Jimmies were better than your Joes.
Is that a NIL thing, do you think, or is that just?
That's just college basketball. Yeah, that's college basketball. Everybody's going to go through it. Some teams that haven't gone through it are having some good fortune and why they haven't gone through it. But make no mistake what I'm saying, not an excuse. But we got good enough guys. But the margin for error isn't one that we can let teams believe that they can beat you. And we give other teams that confidence, and the next thing you know, hey, playing at home, when they get cooking, that's if we're not mentally tough enough and physically tough enough and know how to grind, then all of a sudden you look up and now you're playing from behind, and playing from behind, a lot of good things have to go right, and when you don't shoot the ball exceptionally well, sometimes it puts a little bit too much pressure on you to make plays when that's not really who we are.
All right, Coach, thank you.